Hey, what up YouTube? So today we're going to be taking a look at a Scrapnel mine build that we've been putting together over the last few days. I'm really excited about this one. Super fun build. Great for arbiter fights is what I really wanted to mainly focus this build around. Like I said, super fun. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. So with that, let's get right into it. So we are actually going to be running the Torrential Downpour set. Scrapnel creates additional cluster bombs after explosion, each dealing X amount of anomaly powers scaled damage. Now I'm saying X amount because that number is going to scale depending on what your level is, but at max level you're going to be looking at just north of 5.1 million anomaly powers scaled damage. So big boost right there. That's going to be your set bonus off of running 3 pieces. So with the helmet here, we've got advanced rockets, pain launcher. Each rocket deals X amount more damage at level 75. It's going to be just roughly 478,000 more damage for each rocket that's going to be fired out. So pretty nice. More traps, Scrapnel. 1 additional mine can be thrown before triggering the cooldown, allowing us to be able to spam more Scrapnel mines out there. Trap Cluster, which is actually going to double the number of mines that can be thrown before triggering the cooldown. Ultimately, we're going to have 3, and then Trap Cluster is going to make it to where we will have, at finished product, 6 mines that can be thrown out, each of which is going to detonate and then spawn additional cluster bombs that are going to come out because of the set bonus. So lots and lots of explosions, and hey, who doesn't like explosions, right? So we also threw Captain Hunter on there, increase your damage against elites by 16%. We didn't get Captain Hunter on the APOC slot of the chest piece, which can roll there, so we threw it on the second slot there. Bloody Boost, honestly, not bad to have there either, because since we are running Omen on our weapon, which is not only going to debuff, do a little bit of damage, but it's also going to apply bleed. So that allows us to take advantage of Bloody Boost here. So 8% more damage just out of having this mod equipped. With the pants here, Unstoppable Force is what we're going to throw on there. Increase your anomaly power by 50% of your resistance piercing. And more damage already comes there. With Scrapnel, increase the skills damage by X amount at level 75. It's going to be just north of 2.1 mil. So big increase to the overall damage of our Scrapnel mines. We got Virulent Compound in the APOC slot there, deal 10% more damage to elites that are affected by Toxic or Blight Fire. So just another way that we can pull off more damage. With the gloves, sadly we don't have any status power on there, but they did roll with Fine Tuned, increase the detection and explosion radius by 33% of our Scrapnel mines. We put Anomaly Echo on there, so every time that we're going to be using a skill, which is going to be all the time, we're going to boost our anomaly power up at level 75. It's going to be just shy of 400,000 every time that we use a skill for 6 seconds. So going to have pretty much 100% upkeep of that right there. Always going to have that active. We got Power Assimilation in the APOC slot. Boost your anomaly power by just north of 250,000 for each elite present on the battlefield. So really nice mod to have in the APOC slot there. Now, it's worth noting you can also get Arms and Anomaly in the APOC slot of the gloves. So if you wanted to go with, say, Mage's Rage on your gun, you could look for Arms and Anomaly, which honestly will boost your anomaly power up to a higher level than running Power Assimilation. However, I don't really fire my gun too often on this setup. This is just all about mainly just spamming skills. The only time I'll really ever fire my weapon is just if I want to proc Omen, so that way I can debuff and take advantage of Bloody Boost right here. So just worth noting that that is an option if you want to go with that. And with our boots here, the boots that I have, not the greatest roll. I have the worst luck with getting great rolled boots and gloves. For any of my characters, really. So disregard Cold Purification because we're not even going to be running Cold Snap. But we did get Anomaly Power on the boots. And then Cannonade, increase the number of rockets launched by 10. And then Supplies in the APOC slot, increase our Scrapnel mines by 1 before triggering the cooldown. That's how, going back to where I was saying, we have 3. Trap Cluster right here is going to double that, turn it into 6. So now you can also get Unstoppable Force in the APOC slot right here, and Supplies can roll on boots where, say, Cold Purification is right there. So If you wanted to really search for the perfect pair of boots, in my opinion, you would want to get supplies where cold purification is, get unstoppable force in that APOC slot, throw cannonade right there, and then up here, I think it was on the pants. Yeah, right there where unstoppable force is, you could throw no resistance against the fortified, and then grab you a weapon like the charred lance here, which has armor pierce, skill life leech, status power. Great combo if you're able to manage getting the boots that I just cannot get to drop. So, and like I mentioned, we are going to be running Scrapnel, Pain Launcher, and we're going to be running Blighted Turret as well. Our class tree here, we're going to pick up a few nodes, just working our way over to Exposing Toxins, so that way every time that we apply Toxic, we're going to apply Vulnerable as well. And then Marked for Execution, Vulnerable is going to be 40% more effective. Now, not only is our Blighted Turret going to be applying Toxic, but our Scrapnel Mines and our Pain Launcher are also going to be applying Toxic. We will get into more of that here in just a moment. But these are really nice because everything that we're going to be hitting with all of our skills is going to be applying Toxic, so everything is going to have Vulnerable on it. So really nice to have against elites. Now with the bottom here, as you can see, we're just going to focus on picking up all the anomaly power, resistance piercing, and cooldown that we can, working our way down the tree all the way to where we ultimately pick up Tech Bond. Activating ordnance skills increases anomaly power by 50% for 10 seconds. And you're going to have 100% upkeep of this. Because since it is active for 10 seconds and we're running Scrapnel Mine and Pain Launcher, you're always going to have one of those to activate. So, like I said, you're going to have 100% upkeep of this. And then we're also going to pick up Adrenalizing Antenna, so that way activating decay skills increases anomaly power for you and your allies by 30% for 10 seconds. So now with the cooldown of Blighted Turret, you can get it down to 3.5 seconds. So, and it stays active for 10 seconds. So as long as you just occasionally throw your Blighted Turret out there, not only are you going to get an anomaly power boost, but so are your teammates. They're going to thank you for it. Now let's take a look at our packs tree. We're going to pick up some nodes from the top here. So we're going to take Initial Striker, and then we're going to pick up Lethal Devices. Now this is what's going to allow our I almost said Trapnel, our Scrapnel Mines, rather, and our Pain Launcher are going to be able to apply Toxic. Now, they did apply a cooldown to this in the last major patch that we had, is like a couple weeks ago or something like that. But the cooldown is just 0.2 seconds. So, and we really don't need Lethal Devices to activate for more damage. We're just looking to grab this so that way we can apply Toxic, and with our Scrapnel and Pain Launcher, so that way we can get Vulnerable applied to the enemies without even worrying about, like, if our Blighted Turret is shooting at some other like tree or rock over in left field or something like that, like they tend to do. We can still apply Vulnerable with our Mines and our Pain Launcher. So really nice to pick that up right there. We're going to take Painkiller. We're going to pick up Break the Ranks, which is also extremely good. Your interrupt skills remove effect resistance from hit elites. It does have a 7-second cooldown, but all we really need is we just want to break their resistance right off the bat. And once we've done that, we can basically just continue to stagger them as long as we are getting a very fluid combo of Mines, Pain Launcher, rockets, hitting them at all times. We can just chain those staggers together to where if you get it to work properly, the Arbiter, basically, for lack of a better term, he's just going to look like he's drunk. He's going to be stumbling all over the place while you're just spamming your Mines, hitting them with Pain Launcher. It's actually quite nice, because then you don't have to worry about him spamming his axe attack, slow traps, etc. So if you can get it to work properly, which occasionally, because it only takes like half a second for him to gain his footing, and next thing you know, he jumps all the way to the other side of the map. But when you do get it to work properly, it's actually quite nice to be able to avoid all those different mechanics that the Arbiters like to spawn. So again, break their ranks, and then we're going to work over to Depleted Core. Your ordnance skills damage is increased by 100% of your status power. Now this goes back to where I was talking about how unfortunately we don't have status power on our gloves or our boots, so we are missing out on a really big chunk of damage right there by not having status power on them. But the Charred Lance does come with status power, and so do the 3 pieces of Torrential Downpour that we have on, which those are going to be static. The helmet, chest, pants are always going to be anomaly power, always have status power, so you're good to go as long as you've got those 3 pieces right there, and pick up a weapon that's got some status power on it as well. So that's what the build's looking like. We are at an Arbiter here. Now, normally we would go to the final Arbiter to show y'all what the build is looking like. Unfortunately, I got a few things I got to do this morning. So this Arbiter is directly as soon as you load into it. So today, we're going to do it a little bit different. We're actually just going to fight the very first Arbiter at Catacombs so that way y'all can take a look at the build. Alright, so we're going to get him to jump over to us right off the bat here. There we go, that's what we wanted. And then we're just going to start spamming all of our skills.
I'm guessing that you were one of the Father's warriors.
Put our pain launcher right in front of him.
Trapped down here all this time, big guy.
That's exactly what we wanted. We got a little bit more stagger on him. And then we just go back to hitting him with our mines again. Get Omen, pain launcher right in front of him. I probably set that a little too far away. I don't think we got all the rockets to hit him. Unfortunately, we did not, so he did jump away, but that's fine. We got some more mines that we can throw out on him. Pain launcher directly in front. And as you can see there, that's what we were talking about with just keeping him staggered the whole time, so that way you don't have to worry about his mechanics. So at one point he did manage to jump away, but before he could go into throwing out any kind of mechanics or anything like that, we instantly staggered again, and then kept him staggered for the rest of the fight, so that way we didn't have to deal with the slow traps, the axe mechanic. We really didn't have to worry. I think he only swung the axe in his hand 2 or 3 times, so it's very, very nice whenever you can get it all working properly. So hopefully y'all enjoy the build. If you like the video, make sure that you click that like button right there. Feel free to subscribe. We don't upload all that often, but if you want to catch our next videos that we do put together, make sure that you subscribe as well. And if you want to check us out over on Twitch, we do stream about 3 to 4 times a week. We play with the community as well, so check us out, Norway_Steve. Again, that's going to be over on Twitch. And with that, I hope you all have a great day, and hopefully we catch y'all in the next video. Later, everybody.